Good morning. My name is Martha Murphy, and I'm the chief of our Special Access and FOIA branch. I was invited here today to talk to you all about the project we have ongoing for the release of the remaining withheld in part and withheld in full documents from the JFK Assassination Records Collection. Just to give you a brief background, the JFK Assassination Records Collection was created in response to the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992. As part of that act, all assassination-related records were identified and transferred to NARA. I just have up on the screen right now the webpage that we created for the collection as an overview. NARA established the JFK Assassination Records Collection in 1993, and it consists of approximately 5 million pages of records. Each document identified after the passing of the act was indexed, and metadata for each document is available to the public on archives.gov. Through the JFK Assassination Records Collection database. The purpose of the act was to make sure that everything was identified and transferred to NARA and open to the greatest extent possible. And there was an independent agency established called the Assassination Records Review Board. And the Review Board was a temporary agency that was in effect between 1993 and 1998. The Review Board ensured, after going out and working with agencies, that all relevant records were identified. They also ensured that the records were open to the public to the greatest extent possible. They had the right to overrule even decisions on classification, with the only appeal going to the President of the United States. The President at the time, President Clinton, did not overrule any of the decisions that were made by the Assassination Records Review Board. So, under the Act, all records that were withheld, either in part or in full in the past, it was stated that they should be released in 2017 unless authorized for further withholding, again by the President of the United States. So why 2017? Well, it's 2017 because that's what the law says. If you read the law, it says that each assassination record shall be publicly disclosed in full and available no later than the date that is 25 years after the date of the enactment of the Act. The Act was signed by President Bush in October 26th of 1992, so that puts us October 26th, 2017. So, at this point, the National Archives is beginning our project to process those remaining protected collection, the records that were either withheld in part or in full, and get them ready and available for release in 2017. In 2014, fiscal year 2014, we began by first going through with a pre-processing team, analyzing the records to determine the scope of the project and the FTE it would take in order to complete the work. I do want to say at this point that this effort is unrelated to the NDC's effort to facilitate systematic declassification under the executive order. This is a separate access statute. It is also unrelated to Freedom of Information Act requests. And the fact of the matter is that records were released under the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act that would not have been released under either the FOIA or the executive order. So the result of our pre-processing effort, which occurred in 2014, was that NARA constituted a team of 4 archivists who began their work in October of 2014. And we're also going to be hiring 3 technicians to scan these documents. So the project addressed not only those records that are withheld in full, the project addresses only those records that are withheld in full or in part. And as we can see from this, about 88% of the records currently in the collection are open in full. So our focus is going to be on the postponed in full documents, which is less than 1% of the total, and the postponed in part documents, which we estimated about 11% of the total. So what are we doing? Our first effort was to perfect the metadata in the database. We realized that we had some documents in the database where the access status field was not correct. We had some where it still said things were withheld that were actually open, so we're going through first and perfecting that material. We're also perfecting the archival processing, perfecting the arrangement, and preparing the records archivally for scanning. We're also notifying agencies and providing support to agencies regarding the act. And what we're notifying the agencies of is the fact that absent the approval of the President of the United States, the records will be released. The default is for release. We're working with NARA's Office of Innovation to determine the best way to present the documents when they are released in 2017. So what is going to happen in 2017? Our goal is to have all the previously withheld documents scanned and posted on the web through archives.gov. And then following that release digitally, we will be going through the 5 million pages and reintegrating the actual textual files into the records. And that's it.